Yes. To them kids, the confidence in them kids, and it stems from us. Yeah. They're looking up at us. We are their role models. Yeah. So God bless him and his little family. So it's not finished yet. And blessings upon blessings. So we've got Livy, 21-year-old, is an up-and-coming artist from Nottingham that promises to touch your heartstrings with her honest and soulful voice. She's been making a name for herself, busking around the big cities of the UK, singing and performing spoken word. She uses heartfelt and poetic lyrics to paint her personal experiences in her music, which is elevated with her use of spoken word and poetic rap that keeps adding layers of raw emotions behind her musical identity. Give it up for Lyvia!
Hi everyone. Oh, everyone's so loud, I love it. So yeah, my name's Lyvia. I'm a singer-songwriter from Notts. I do like spoken word and poetry as well, so we're going to do just what I do today. A couple of spoken word pieces and some songs as well that I wrote. And I hope you feel it. I like to tell stories in my lyrics, so I hope you can follow it and yeah, enjoy it. Thank you for coming, I really appreciate it. There's quite a few people in the audience that don't really know me, so I'll start off with one that tells you a little bit about who I am. See, I've got a ring on my thumb that I twist when I'm nervous, a spring in my step because I walk with a purpose. I keep a quartz in my pocket so I love myself first. It's that voice in my head that can make me feel worthless if I let it. See, a lot of people really only know me on the surface. When I tie my shoes, I tie the left foot first and then the right foot. It's just something that I do. Oh, see me, OCDs in my car that don't even work, and you won't see me when I'm hurting, but you might hear your name in a couple of verses, if you're lucky. I've got my one in my bed that can leave me all wordless, which is hard, and shirtless, and make it all worth it. A curl in my hair that I just leave curling, a mind over matter that is very determined. Got a heart on my sleeve that has been through a whirlwind, because I'm a girl and that's just what we do. There's a book on my bedside gathering dust, because I promised myself that I'll read when I get up. There's a generation of people trying to hurry me up. I've got a middle finger that says I don't give up, and a ring on my thumb that I twist when I'm nervous. I'm going to do a song now. I feel like I want this. And I realised when I put this set together that all my stuff I'm performing today is about me. And oh no, got sweaty hands. Oh no. Has anyone not got sweaty hands?
It's coming.
Okay. Thanks. Oh yes, big up cap everyone.
That's too high.
Down. Yeah, good. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to do a song and it's called Little Miss Defensive. Could I just have a bit more mic as well, please? Thank you. Maybe shy. So Little Miss Defensive, break down defense and let us in. You're also interested. We want to see the mind you've been living in. Little misguided, open up, want to see what's inside it. Stop trying to hide it. Stop trying to hide. 13, life is tight jeans with the rips and knees now. And you figured out what the sequel means now. Faced with fake ID, Bacardi, wasted mates, you think your face house parties. A million friends, but you're feeling let down. Yeah. It's a little less defensive. Break down defense and let us in. You're also interested. We want to see the mind you've been living in. Little misguided. Open up, want to see what's inside it. Stop trying to hide it. Stop trying to hide it. Hi, my name is Lyvia. I'm from the UK, so you could say I'm Lyvia. 21 dollars, so I'm old soul. Got the whole world at my feet. I like music and writing and going out to eat. And I don't really care for high heels or shit deals on a Friday night. Catch me stepping in a pair of Nikes, so wrapped up in my duvet, or wrapped up in my pride, writing songs about the ones that made me laugh or the bitches that made me cry. Thank you. That was social medias are Lyvia Music, so that's Lyvia Music. I post loads of stuff on there. I recently just dropped my first single called Patience, so if you like what I do, that's like obviously what I do. So if you'd like to stream it and stuff, that would be cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna do another spoken word piece now, and then I've got another song for you. So yeah, cool. I could do better at this. Self-love. You don't need makeup to look good. You're not weird, you're just misunderstood, ting. I used to be really good at it, but then life happened a bit and people cheated and treated me like she said I couldn't, so I stopped achieving. It's natural when people tell you things, you start believing. It's misleading and deceiving. Worse in the evening, stop me from sleeping. I've been counting sheep and I've been in my feelings. I've been in my bed just eating when I should have been at meetings. I've been in my head fighting demons, just trying to defeat things, working on my breathe in and out. I don't like the way you talk to me, and I hate the way you speak to her in front of me. It's borderline insulting me, so if you're gonna sit here discussing me, I beg you have the decency to look at me. There's so much anger in you, just put some trust in me. I'm too intelligent for you to sit here cussing me. I got a little lion in me, you just sparked the fire in me. There's no way that I'll be dealing with Joe. Cause I've been stepping on eggshells, just trying to excel. My inhales and exhales been shallow, much like most of my ex-girls, so I'm gonna set sail, just me and a piano. I bring the degrees in the soul like I'm under your feet, 50 degrees and assault like I'm packing the heat. Actually peak, yeah, I'm told that I'm actually sweet, naturally me. So I'm going to do a song to finish off. It actually doesn't even have a name at the moment, so anyone can think of a name for it, it'll be fabulous. It's about, like, I think I get nervous to like do content about other people, I'm not sure why. I'm going to definitely do that next time. But yeah, DJ, I'm ready. back if I could, and I would. Shit, I'd go back and I would take away my trust, and I wouldn't give out love so easily. Not until I know you know how to treat me. I've got divine energy, that hard to find energy is mine. All I've ever done is love and be kind. I'm just protecting my spirit, neglecting what is bad, and I'm respecting you with me. I travel life, a notebook of love and my pride. So much for the struggle and the rise, just staying out of trouble for the night. But I had to jump the barrier, cause busking is my job and money's tight. Just city hopping knots and getting by, chilling with my babes to ease my mind. Thank you. So it's been great to come back and have you guys as an audience because you've been wicked. I'd just like to thank Jah for having me. He basically is the one that just dragged me into this, introduced me to my people and like helped me find myself and stuff. So I appreciate you, bro. It's family, innit? Just shout myself out again. Lyvia Music, if you'd like to follow me, I'd really appreciate it.
You're amazing.
Thank you. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys, and big love, yeah.
God-given talents. So, the next person we have up is Abdul Malik. Heard the saying, become the change you want to see in the world. So started writing about love. Come on, Abdul! Love. Sorry, Carol.
How's everyone doing? You know what? Everyone's saying, love to Jah Digga. And honestly, from the deepest depth of my heart. And on behalf of everyone who's here, everyone who's performing, I'd like to ask everyone to give them another round of applause, please. It's a beautiful thing that you've done. And we're backstage, we're saying about the love. You know, you guys are giving so much love and it's beautiful, and we appreciate it much. There's my mom.
Hey, mom.
Yes, mom. My sister. Much love. Yes, family. So the first poem I'm going to do is called Smile, and I was brought up screwface culture back in the day. Everyone had a screwface for a reason. And they go to parties in screwface. And I feel like that's changing now. And the smile is such a beautiful thing. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that smiling is actually a rewardable act. It's an act of charity, and it's something that makes people feel good when they don't feel good inside. So this one's called Smile. He said, I take my smiling faces very seriously. He said, the energy of a smile with sincerity brings serenity to the heart, it's a remedy. He said, clemency is a trait of the heavenly. Then he got deep and sung with the melody. He said, what is in the heart will eventually manifest on the tongue. So it's not unusual for beautiful people to speak only beautiful things even when they have been wrong. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ proclaimed, the heart is a container, meaning it can only pour forth what it contains. The smile is like the cloud that forms and springs forth water as falling rain. And with the sun's warmth, spring sprung forth and brought us grain so we could graze. Then from hearts hard as rocks, spring sprung forth. The smile is like that mind that pops open and springs some thoughts into existence, something so pure and realistic. It brings some pure to the inflicted and brings us forth into upliftment. He said, I've never been so sure that when someone's gifted with peace, it could link us all to the uplifting. He paused. I thought. I said, sing some more. He says, to have positivity is to acknowledge inner belief, is to always have the feeling that you could, plus within positivity there is love. So smile. I said, what if I'm not feeling good? Or I feel it but the one who is receiving doesn't? Or I'm grieving and the stuff that I'm concealing is tough and unappealing from the dealing of a season's rough. He smiled for a while and said, just keep it up. Keep a smile even if the heart is bleeding blood. Within a smile there were signs for the believers. Within a smile there was healing and relief for us. Then he changes and he says this. He says, never arrange to stay close to those enraged volcanoes, engage with spewing great loads of rocks and flames thrown out of anger, because it's contagious. The smile is a sign of the courageous. The smile on your face is a light for my heart, and that light in my heart puts a smile on my face. Small gestures affect hearts in large ways. So smile. He said, just smile. Is it not the arrival of the butterflies recital that causes the tide to tidal, wave goodbye to the idol and ascribe to the smile? If inside you is vile, I prescribe you to smile. If you want beauty to find you, advice is to smile. If you move with a style, your duty is to smile. Love for all, I know I do. Life's too short to be spiteful. To be caught in the cycle of the scorn is to spiral. A smile could change the world. A smile could change the world. It ripples the outside from the universe that's inside you, crippling doubt, pride, or any plight that we're confined to. The problem is our time is final, so it's vital. We use our ego as a rival. We use our ego as a rival and be the first to just smile. He says, I take my smiling faces very seriously. Where there's teeth with sincerity, there is peace and serenity, there is ease in the heart, a relief from the harsh. So, smile. And that's it for that one. Thank you very much. One thing that the Prophet Muhammad said is that when you make someone smile, he says that Allah makes an angel, God makes an angel for you, and that angel prays for you until the day of judgment. And so what I'm going to try and do, I'm trying to get some angels right now. I'm going to try something, I'm going to try and joke. This one's going to be a poem, it's a joke. A lady gets on the bus. She's holding baby and cradle with pride. The busman looks with disgust and says, that's the ugliest baby I've seen in my life. The lady, she's left in a muddle, and anger bubbles inside. She struggles her way to the back of the bus and tells the man she's beside, she says, that bus driver just insulted me. From people like that, I need to be far. And except for people like you, sir, I can't believe how rude people are. The man, he says, you are? Nah, go and give him what for, love. Let him know it's not all honky-dora. And why are you telling him what we are? Let me hold your monkey for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the next poem. I'm glad I want to. You know what? Round of applause for all mums, man. Mums, honestly, we don't. You can't give mums the appreciation that they deserve. There's no way. And Jah Digga does a poem about how people talk to their parents, and it's sad that people have that sort of vision of their parents, but where we're from, we love our parents. We show them love, we show them appreciation, and if those parents have passed, we still visit them, we make graves, we still benefit from them. So this poem I wrote recently, and I wrote it for my mom, and it goes like this. I can't remember the first day that we first met, but you said it was love at first sight, and I believe you. Because even now it feels like a brand new love every time I see you. The love you showed to me is what molded me. To me, you birthed me. The one that brought me to this earth, and for that, I could never put a value on your worth. You're the one I call mother, my first teacher. The one who put the bandage to my hurt. Unconditional understanding is in her. I have the best one in the world. Mine. She's that bears the struggles to give us everything we need type one. Not just a mother, but a queen type one. You know that if your friends have anything to eat type one? Paradise lies at her feet type one. Stay up the whole night type one. Just to know that we're alright type one. Sacrifice our whole life. Sacrificed our whole life and kept a smile through the strife type one. So beautiful. In my eyes, there's none like mine, and I'm honored to be yours. And that's all. The last few years I haven't wrote any poems because I've been writing a book, and I wanted to share it with you if possible. I call it Eugene, and it's a novel in rhyming verse. So I've wrote a book with just rhymes, and it tells a story of a boy who's oppressed, etc., etc. If with your permission, I'd like to read a little bit from this book, and then go from there. The first part of the book, the first part I'm going to read now, is some guy trying to get through a door, and the sound that I made for it. His eyes burst open. The thudding at the door roars through the walls of the whole house, causing the chandelier to shuffle. He pants in fear, discovered. Hands ruffle the covers. He jumps up and slams them on a chair near to a plant that's there. His feet touch the ground. He looks around. The light from the swinging chandelier stretches and shrinks the silhouette, which makes the small statue of a deer appear like an angry bear. Clock on the wall shows the time to be defined for 3. He glances in the mirror. He's thinner than he'd like to be, and blurrier. Could never find his glasses when he needs them most. Small curly fro, face looked like he's seen a ghost. He fell asleep in his clothes. Clean white shirt with the greenest bow tie he could have chosen. Immaculate cactus green, cream khaki jeans, garnished with a knackered green gabardine garment baggy at the seams. Thoughts running 100-fold, heart thumping thunderbolts. How could they have come to know the old country bungalow? He was sure they'd taken proper precaution to ensure no opposite force would follow his course in. He enforced all obvious tactics in his rush. Even did a couple of swapping of courses and doubling backwards, speeding up, slowing down, mirror check, surrounding, scout, opposite, signalling, driving round and round and round about. Without a doubt, no one should have found where he was hiding out. No one could have known besides. No. No time to preen, dream or stand and stare. The door bubbles. He hears muffled ranting jeers. Eugene, you know you're in there. The phrase that glanced his ears. It's a muscle. He whispers to himself as warm words advance from fears, dance with the cold air that disappeared. He'd heard much about the muscle. Trouble doubled. 2 brothers that made their hustle from scuffling thugs, recovering goods, covering government crud and drubbing the love out of any lover they could. They were bounty hunters, high and knuckle, a vile couple, and for a minor cupful, you could trust these 2 violent crooks to find a needle in a pile of muck, and his style isn't silent or subtle. Eugene scurries to the keyhole and looks through. I'll stop there, otherwise I'll put you all to sleep. My social media is Abdul Malik Writing. And I've just started a website, abdulmalikwriting.co.uk, if anyone wants to check it out. The book should be released in August. I'll give you updates, etc., etc. And yeah, I'm going to do one more poem for you. And it's something that I've recently written. I've been trying to memorize it. So if I flop it, don't laugh too much, just a little smile, that would do. I'm just going to put this in. She told me that she was in love with Mary and said this is why she wears it. Wear what? I asked, as she points to the scarf that she had her hair in. I stood there and stared at it, not noticing it before the mention. My arm slowly motioning forward towards hers, my dry palm facing the sky as if calling for rain. She pours my cold change into it. Copper coins. Copper-coloured coins that rattle like chains, tattling, telling the story of a freed slave. Her black satin scarf, waving bravely with the breeze that had sneaked its way in through the sliding electric doors, opening and closing like mines. bigoted eyes still glancing, but her scarf unapologetic in its dance. My choice, she says, her voice brazen, face smiling, diamond faith in the way that she told me. The electrocardiogram type beeping of the tills behind me remind me that there's still heart here. Shopping carts steered by folks shopping, their faces covered with fabric like the burqas they once feared. There's irony here. Bigoted glances still not stopping. My father told me to take it off, she says. But I'm in love with Mary, she declares. Passionate, no holding back. Haven't you already told me that? I say. Newspapers in my peripheral take my gaze from hers. Hijab band, headlining, next to the newspaper with the near naked ladies. So strange, she says, her voice now sounding as if about to cry. They fought for her rights of choice, but remained silent in the fight for mine. Her headdress swaying from side to side as she shakes her head with deep concern. Like, what will Jesus say when he returns and finds out we didn't speak a word on the outlawing of his mother? You know, Mary, she says. It's scary because the headscarf is what she preferred, so what does that mean on how we're treating her? She covers me with the naked truth. I say nothing. All I can do is shrug. She says, you always preach about freedom and how we need to keep peace, so can you at least speak? Say something. She told me that. So now I'm telling you. My choice, she told me. So now I'm telling you. Anti-headscarf, anti-Mary, anti-Christ is what she told me. So now I'm telling you. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Good evening.
So up next we have Chris Oliver. He shares his wisdom and outlook on life using spoken word and has performed around the UK. His insights are thought-provoking and heartfelt, drawing on his personal experiences growing up in Nottingham. Come on, Chris, let's have you.
Yes, good evening, people. I see everybody out there. So yeah, we've had a couple of tributes to the mothers, so I'm just going to continue on that theme and jump straight into my first piece. This is called Keeping It Simple. When I look around me, I see so many fathers on their grind. I see them putting in time like they're seasoning food. And I don't mean to sound rude, but I get confused, I get the blues, I'm sending out booze to those absent fathers. You know, the ones who'd rather be chasing skirts than putting in work to nurture the seeds that they planted. They've got the blessing of life, yet they take it for granted.
Yeah.
It's like they've been implanted with a false sense of their own identity. And I tell you for certain that's not how it's meant to be. But if you're open to reason, we'll get there eventually. Because I'm essentially just painting a picture with words. Like how nature paints a picture in the sky with the birds. I am a mother's son. So when I shine brightly, I project the sun's rays my mum's way. My mum has me beaming. And I saw how she battled with numerous demons, and even though her heart was bleeding when Pops was cheating, she never stopped believing. She stayed up late while we were sleeping and had by herself meeting so she could pray to the Most High for healing. She could hold down a beating and still maintain the washing, cooking and cleaning. Have everything in the yard all sparkle and gleaming. And although her eyes were often streaming, she tried to hide the tears from our eyes to protect our feelings. So the first point I'm making is, if she's still around, then value your mother. Swing by tomorrow and tell her you love her, it's that simple. And the next point I'm making is this. If you didn't have a mother, you wouldn't exist. So that alone should make you know that a mother is priceless. So my question is, should a female that you have a child with be priceless? Subjected to levels of high stress? I mean, let's keep it real, she should never be above your mother, because although she could be your friend, your lover, or even your wife, she never gave you life. But yet the life force that was formulated when you exchanged those sacred energies created joyful memories in the throes of passion, or maybe just lust and meaningless action. I don't know, I weren't there. But with children involved, take care of them. And even if you go your separate ways, cast your mind to a time or call back in the days when you were young, and treat her how you would have wanted someone to treat your mom. So the fruits of your seeds could grow with strong roots and strong foundations, and stay standing firm through any trials and tribulations. Show guidance and patience, and instill them with the knowledge of the ancients, and fulfill your role. Help turn boys to men before they come to the end of the road. Help girls become women who instinctively know how to spot a genuine, consistent man in real time. Anything less is a real crime. Real men come forth with a real spine or fall back. Step up to the plate or fall flat and face that drama. Accept your karma and burn in hot lava. Hey. Or just do your best and be a good father. I want to take this a second to say, yo, big up to Jah Digga. So, listen, when I first started writing, I was a nervous wreck, scared to get on the stage, and Jah said, come, brought me to my first open mic at an event called Black Drop, came and supported, man, and it's been a journey since then. So, yo, big up Jah. Big up the poets of the Endz family, all the other performers who've been on before me. One love. So my next piece, this is called The Rest of My History. It's a very personal piece. It's about growth, personal growth. So I'm just gonna jump straight in. Shards of hope dance around my deepest desires. The fire within my belly compels me to reach out and welcome them into my grasp. My heart beats so fast, my past continues to haunt me. The future continues to daunt me, and the weakness of my flesh allows me to bleed with ease, and so I freeze. Afraid to just be in that moment. Aware that my real opponent lies within the confines of my own skin. Telling lies to my mind's eye, making mountains out of molehills and mowing down my dreams like roadkill. I hold still. My pen transfers the pain onto paper. The words seem harsh like henny no chase. I better pace myself in a vape top shelf. I need to cleanse myself from my mental health, and place myself in a space which allows me to go back to basics and stay rich on the premise that health is wealth. The realization's like a weightlifter, but my soul is still twisted. This is just the beginning. My head's still spinning, but I know that I'm winning, and I feel blessed. Because I avoided that coughing. Now I'm coughing some shit up off my chest. How ironic. Now I feel bionic like the $1 Million Man. I post my words up on the gram, but I care less if people like it. It's great if they do, but that's not why I write it. It's like this is the only way I can release and let go. I find inner peace when I let flow, which I know from the get-go. But I am the sum of my life experience. There's only one me, and my seeds are my variants, and so the cycle of my bloodline continues through the ages. And the pain still flows through my pen onto pages. But it no longer cripples me. And my little me's, well, they get to see a different me. And I get to rewrite the rest of my history. So, because like a lot of my pieces are quite deep and personal, now and again I like to try and write something a little more light-hearted. So this one's called Dancing to Her Destiny. I was destined to dance into her destiny. I had to slow waltz at first while this life of mine tested. Now my heart is in her custody, she's cardiac arrested me. The rest of me just follows like a groupie does celebrities, but as we salsa into ecstasy, tango with my jealousy. And she tries to express to me this loyal she would never be. And she says, if I moonwalk backwards, she might never see the best in me. And she's right, of course. I'm right, of course. So instead of rewinding my mind, I slow wind with her. Slow ride a rumba and disco crazy. Ask the bartender to pass a doble. Actually, make that a triple. She makes me feel alive, no jive, and I feel inclined to floss. She got me feeling like a boss, and over again, her moves never cease to amaze me. And maybe it sounds just a little bit wavy, but I could be her Patrick Swayze, and she could be locking on to the way she twists. We break dance for a moment so we can share a kiss. My head spins, but I'm not running, man. And even though it's loaded, girl, that's not a gun in her. This mama loves mambo and I don't want to let go. She's so foxtrot, indigo, November echo. Indigo, November echo. And yes, my heart is in her custody. She's cardiac arrested. Yeah, so for my next piece, I've been working with young people in Nottingham for a long time, in schools, pupil referral units and alternative provision mainnets. So I work with them young people who no one else don't want to work with. I see a lot of successes, but I see a lot of sad stories as well. So my next two pieces. This first one's called Hot Block.
Yeah.
I see a lot of youngsters trying to fit into a box like hopscotch. It's like they're trying to keep the block hot like hopscotch bonnet in a Dutch pot. I mean, do they even know what's what? What's good for the soul and what's not? Well, it's not darks, it's not flake, and it's not rocks. It's not Rambos, it's not burners, and it's not ops. Plus, why is it only road life that seems to get props? Why not open up a clothes shop or maybe learn how to trade stocks? Pay mind to where the book stops, because bookshops don't discriminate. So youngsters, don't just imitate man them on the roads. Formulate your own code. Live like a freeman and value life, because I'm sure Shanks won't offer you redemption. More likely death or a prison sentence. And the truth is, if you deep it, this knife crime thing's a joke. Because how are you thinking violence when you're thinking who to poke? So utilize those youthful lies and euphanize the brutal lies. Make mistakes, learn and grow. Ebb and flow like H2O, I know you know. Deep down, choose life, sleep sound. Do your best, be proud. You need help? Reach out. We've got you. So I think we're all aware of the problem with the youngsters and this knife crime thing at the minute. Yeah? This piece I'm going to do now is called Another Sad Song. I wrote this like quite a few years ago, but I had to pull it out for Poets of the Endz. They said they heard it from through the. Sorry, let me start again. They said they heard it through the grapevine. But I was there and I could see the fear in his eyes, and it dared me to cry. The sight of him losing his life force, fading like a crimson sunset, disappearing beyond the horizon. I pray it never happens to my son, those butterflies in my tongue. Because I know these streets can be so unforgiving. It's another sad song, 2 rays of light with futures. And one is gone forever. And what lives on is the tragedy of those unfulfilled dreams of a child with a sparkle in his eyes and a smile that could fill the 4 corners of any room. Taken far too soon from the womb to the tomb in just 16 short years. 16 million drops of tears falling down faces in the various places that spark a memory of him. Things will never ever be the same, thinking who can we blame, but blaming, naming and shaming won't take away the agony of that bleeding heart a parent feels within their chest. As you struggle to catch your breath, you wish for death to take you. At least then there could be a glimmer of hope that you might see his face again, or hear the sweet tones of his laughter in a happily ever after life. But the asking price is the ultimate sacrifice, so I guess it all depends on what you believe in, or how much you value what you believe in behind on this physical plane where the pain of a mother losing her son is becoming the norm. What is it that makes us feel we have to conform to these fucked up stereotypes, where earning stripes requires our young soldiers to target each other? How could you take the life of someone who resembles your brother? Young black child, stop seeking validation by raising your status in the hood. I'm from there too, and believe me, it's so good when you take your mind out the gutter, build your life and give it structure, and realize that you've been tricked, that your wings have been clipped because the powers that be do not want you to fly. No, they want you to die or get high or supply your community with poison, thinking that's the only way to make it. Well, here's my advice, and I hope that you take it. Dream big. Dream big and know your potential and know your worth. Shake off this diaspora curse, I mean. What's wrong with us all making it together? Through the stormiest weather, supporting each other instead of bringing each other down. The real enemy is laughing right now and he's thinking, how is it so easy to manipulate them? To the point that they will kill their own for a mobile phone. Jeez. Or for a £20 drug debt, or to wreck their Endz. If you lived on the same block, you could have been friends. And the one who lived, 25 years the judge gave him. And his emotions unraveled as they slammed down the gavel. But his pride still won't let him admit that. He fucked up, and he wishes he could take it back. But some things can never be undone. There's no U-turn, so don't you burn your bridges. You don't have to be religious to know what's right from wrong. It's another sad song that's been played for so long now. You've got to be strong and somehow find a way to sway the perspective of the youth. Open their eyes to the truth that you are kings and queens, past, present, and future. So make it your goal to control your knowledge of self, because knowledge is wealth. And there's a wealth of knowledge in books. You should read them. Make the most of your freedom, so you can remember that you came from greatness and your plate was always abundant. so you can build your self-esteem, then establish your team and manifest your dreams. And then maybe, just maybe, we might get to a place where we won't have to sing another sad song. So this is going to be like my last piece for tonight. Thanks for indulging me, people. This one's called Smoke and Mirrors. It's some little reflections I was having during the pandemic. In recent years, I started paying more attention to the dynamics within society. And there's a truth within a truth and a lie within a lie, and I don't know why I didn't see it sooner. Maybe those childhood vaccines and booster jabs unbalanced the harmony within my natural pharmacy. Maybe it was karma. Me getting paid back for something I did way back. Because when you earn, you have to pay tax. I noticed that the whole construct of the world we live in is built on lies disguised by smoke and mirrors. And as I unraveled more clues, the numbers grew. And so I started to fixate like 2468, this must be a mistake. But it wasn't. It was a piss take. I realized that slavery was never actually abolished. They just modernized it and hid it in plain sight. To the point that some don't even know it exists, it's that polished. They create divides and providers of entertainment to distract us. They've covered all angles like retractors. They've trapped us with Love Islands and X Factors. They subtly feed racial tension, but what they always fail to mention is they care not for anyone outside of their exclusive circle of 1%ers. They don't value lives because if they did, we'd all thrive instead of just survive on the wrong side of the class divide. So now most of us are pacified and classified into stereotypes, going back and forth like window wipes, expressing our daily gripes but never actually making changes. Too busy making change. It really is a crying shame. So tell me, what's the answer? They've even made it illegal to say you cure cancer because then there's a chance that people might wake up and smell the shit-flavored coffee. Which will probably lead to Big Pharma getting its karma. Is it silly of me to dream of being free like in 1963 when Martin Luther King spoke to the people? 58 years on and we're still not equal. It's like another bad sequel. But he had a dream and we are the people, so we need to question and ask. Like with the science of the mask, it's interesting. We breathe out carbon dioxide, which is waste, and have a perfect exchange with the plants and trees who breathe in our waste and replace it with oxygen. It's not rocket science. If you don't get enough oxygen, your immune system could be compromised, and therefore you could be the first to die if the virus is good. I'm just stating how I feel based on the research I've done since my rebirth. So now I meditate daily to cut down the reverb so I can get set with what I deserve. I've made my point, so I'll just leave you with these words. Free birds have no borders, and the only order they follow is the law of nature, which by default is the law, the Most High Creator. If anyone wants to follow me, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Chris Oliver _spoken word. Thank you.
For all the vibes in that, I don't want to say this bit. We've come to the end, and I don't want it to be the end. But we have come to the end, and it's been such a blessed night. Have you enjoyed your evening? Yeah. Good. A big shout out to Jah. Thank you for putting this on and blessing us all. You know, it's something different, you know, funky and fresh. And I'm going to invite him back on now to say the last few words for the night. Jah, where you there? Where you there?
Yes, people. It's been a pleasure, you know. As we've witnessed, every single person that graced the stage tonight has been phenomenal. And that's all on our doorsteps. We don't even have to go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So we have to kind of embrace these type of things here instead of endorsing the negative narrative as I keep banging on about. We need to, this is it. This is going to plant the seeds in the little ones. You get what I'm saying? To have a choice, have an option. You get what I'm saying? But I just want to say thank you to B, right there, the lovely lady right there. She's picked the song, the Nottingham Poetry Festival has been running all week since the 6th of May. Each day there's been an event, and it's been a success. It's been amazing. I want to shout out Tommy Farmyard. He's like the glue. He's the glue. Amazing. I also want to shout out his absence. I can't forget DJ Roots. DJ Roots has got another book in his book talk. This there. Shout out DJ Roots in his absence. I want to shout out and give thanks to our host. Where is she? Come back out here, man. What are you doing? Big round of applause. I want to give a big shout out to the poets. Each and every one of the poets smashed it tonight. Lovely. We've got more work to do. We go in schools, do workshops. We're going to do some skits, some videography work with. Come here, Jamal. Sorry, Jamal. I forgot you there. Come here, Jamal. Can I get a big shout out to Jamal? He's genius. Great on it. But like I said, we got workshops going into schools. We've got more events coming up. We've got videography skits. We're gonna do albums. So just it's togetherness, collectiveness. It's the energy. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Finally, I want to give a big shout out to you guys, man. You gotta make it happen, man. Come on, please, man. We take a picture on the stage, man. We take a picture on stage, man. Who's taking the picture? Limara, your job's not done yet.
Oh, okay.
No, fine. You need to be in the picture. Who's going to take the picture?
Can you take it?
Let's go to Leon. Yes. Let's get in, everybody. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Listen, on the count of three, I want to hear posts off the Endz, yeah? Big, loud, and proud. You get that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, man. And people try to say, thank you, yeah?